CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We have the latest in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk tonight, but first, today marks 24 years since the September 11th terror attacks in the United States. Today, students at a LaSalle High School joined firefighters honoring first responders by taking on a physical challenge that carries heavy meaning. Here's CTV's Chris Campbell.
Step by step, over and over, students and staff at St. Thomas of Villanova Catholic Secondary School, along with local firefighters, climbed the bleachers, matching the number of stairs inside New York's World Trade Center towers.
It was very hard work, but it's very meaningful for what it represents.
For many students, it was their first time learning about the tragedy beyond history books.
In my mind, I was just thinking of all the people, what they went through. They definitely had it a lot harder than me, so I just kept pushing on and on.
Some students instead walking laps around the track while speaking with LaSalle firefighters.
This is like the first time we've ever done something like this, and I think it was pretty cool. We were talking to a couple of firefighters, and they're teaching us a lot about the process of becoming a firefighter.
Principal Danielle Desjardins says the event is about more than just remembering.
Not only commemorate and memorialize first responders, but also to bring together our LaSalle community to increase awareness of the role of firefighting in our community. And some of these students, it was 24 years ago, they weren't alive yet, so they might hear stories, they might see clips, but today provides an opportunity for them to really imagine and to hear from individuals who were there at that time.
For LaSalle firefighters, it was a way to share perspective.
Powerful, humbling. It's just such a privilege to put the Maltese cross on every day and to share this with a generation that wasn't alive for the 9/11 tragedy. It was super important to us.
Organizers hope the climb not only honored the 443 first responders killed that day, but inspires future ones.
I wasn't alive for D-Day or World War II, but those stories were passed on through my parents and ancestors of the like, so I think it's the responsibility for us to keep those 443 brave men and women's sacrifice alive and honor them.
A lesson in resilience, sacrifice, and community, carried one step at a time. In LaSalle, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Dozens gathered downtown tonight to shine a light on addiction and mental health struggles. The 9th annual Lights of Hope event brought together groups including the House of Sophrosine, Brentwood, Positive Pathways, and the Downtown Mission. People shared stories, listened to music, and closed the night with a candlelight vigil. Organizers say the gathering is about community support, reminding those struggling they are not alone. A celebration of life has been announced to honor Windsor Symphony Orchestra's beloved maestro. Robert Franz passed away on September 2nd after a battle with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Tributes to his life will be held on October 14th at 7:30 p.m. at the Capitol Theatre. Special friends and family invitations are being sent out. General seating for the community will open on September 22nd. There will also be a live stream link for those unable to attend the theater. And it's a Ruck to remember. A group of ex-military members and volunteers are hiking 140 kilometers, Windsor to Chatham, carrying heavy loaded backpacks. The journey to raise awareness and funds for homeless veterans. CTV's Bob Belichico was there as the Ruckers took their first steps.
It can't be that heavy, right?
Students from St. Angela's School trying to pick up a rucksack that weighs between 45 and 55 pounds.
Yeah, it's also typical of, specifically the infantry. Back in the day, they'd have to lug everything around, and everything would be on their back.
These 5 ruckers are carrying the backpacks as they trek across the region.
The Road to Recovery Ruck March is our flagship annual event. We cover 2 kilometers for every veteran and first responder that passed the year before. So this year, that'll be 142 kilometers that we're covering.
The Ruck to Remember organization, founded by Lino DiGiulio, this year is helping create awareness and support for a program called Leave the Streets Behind.
It's run by the Royal Canadian Legion, and it's committed to getting and keeping veterans off the streets.
If I were in that position, I'd want somebody to have a program like this set up anyway for my own sake.
Quick! March!
Students formed a line on Marintet Avenue and cheered for the Ruckers as they stepped off into their journey.
Legion being just down the street from us, a lot of them saw the building, didn't know what it was. We wanted to spread some awareness of what they were doing and letting them know that this is an important part of our community and we wanted to be a part of it.
A lot of support on the trail today.
There's been homeless veterans that we've assisted. There's been 25, 30 veterans in Windsor. We've helped veterans in Amherstburg, Kingsville, Comber, Chatham, all the routes that we're going on this year's Ruck.
Day one concluded in Amherstburg, where they are being hosted by the Royal Canadian Legion, Fort Malden Branch 157. They had a parade, they had dinner, they're staying overnight. Day two resumes tomorrow. It's their longest day of the 4-day journey, 41 kilometers. Ruck to Remember will finish in Chatham Sunday with the hope of raising $200,000 during their visits and online. Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Canada's largest food can maker is sealing a new deal with Chatham, an $80 million investment that's bringing a long-vacant factory back to life. As CTV's Sanjay Maru reports, business leaders say the move will not only create jobs, but will also help ease costs for families.
For the past 10 years, this plant in Chatham has sat empty after Crown Metal Packaging closed its doors. But early next year, Quebec-based Ideal Can will move in, operating 3 shifts around the clock.
Exactly like a Quebec facility. We produce 24 hours by day, 6 days a week.
The operation would create 100 jobs, but the Chamber of Commerce in Chatham-Kent says the impact could be far greater.
100 jobs in manufacturing can result in anywhere from 300 to 500 jobs because of the supply chain. Now, all those jobs won't be here in Chatham-Kent, but you're going to have equipment that needs to be installed. You're going to need construction. You're going to need maintenance people.
The location was no accident. Chatham sitting in the middle of Ontario's tomato belt, surrounded by major processors.
This is always great to see is add value as opposed to shipping it to the U.S. to be processed and then buying it back for twice as much.
The announcement coming as tariffs continue to drive up costs for both businesses and families.
Cost of living is up. There's more exposure to being at risk for housing, at risk for, being able to provide for your family, to pay the bills. So it's an excellent investment for us to see here in Chatham-Kent.
The plan is to start with 2 production lines, adding 1 every 6 months until there are 8 in total. At maximum capacity, Ideal Can says their Chatham facility would be able to produce 1 billion cans every year.
The only winners is the consumer, the people on the grocery store.
In Chatham, Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Canada needs to build big, the key promise made by Prime Minister Mark Carney. He announced the first of 5 major projects, from energy and mining in the west to expanding ports in the east. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the details.
Mark Carney tried to drive home his message.
It's a single point of contact to get nation-building projects built faster.
Announcing the first 5 projects and more in development, led by a former energy executive at the newly opened Major Projects Office.
To get to 1 project, 1 review, 1 decision in a 2-year time frame will set Canada apart globally.
The Prime Minister acknowledged several are already further along, like LNG and Kitimat. He says in all cases, engagement with Indigenous groups is very advanced, and within 5 years.
Yes, some of those projects, shovels will be in the ground.
But the opposition leader points out no shovels yet.
He's not permitted a single major mine, pipeline, nuclear plant, or anything else. What he's done today is announce that he's going to send an email to an office that isn't even fully staffed up yet, which will one day consider possibly approving 5 projects. This is pathetic.
As for money in a new spend less, invest more environment, the Prime Minister says being more efficient doesn't cost much. It's not clear how much Ottawa will spend otherwise.
We expect with the vast majority of these projects that federal dollars will catalyze many multiples of private dollars.
CTV News asked the Prime Minister what success looks like. He said in part it's about changing attitude so people believe Canada can build big. The next list of projects, he says, will be out by the Grey Cup, That's November. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Edmonton.
In other news, Windsor police have charged a 29-year-old man with sexual assault and forcible confinement. Police say the incident happened September 7th at a house in the 1200 block of Harrison Avenue. The suspect and victim met through social media. Police say the suspect drove the victim to a residence where she was allegedly sexually assaulted and prevented from leaving. The suspect turned himself in 2 days later. 29-year-old Jibril Ahmed Farah is facing charges. Essex OPP is looking to identify an individual around 3:15 Saturday afternoon. Police say they were walking a large black dog, possibly a cane corso, near Talbot and Center Streets. The dog allegedly injured a pedestrian. If you have any information, contact police. After months of pushback, the Essex Region Conservation Authority has pulled the plug on a disc golf course at Holiday Beach. The board voted unanimously to rescind earlier approval after neighbors and naturalists warned the game would disrupt the park's quiet setting and wildlife. Consultants and federal officials found no environmental red flags, but IRCA says the public opposition was too strong to ignore. Staff will now work with the donor who offered to fund the course to find another use for the money. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And still ahead, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gets an unexpected call out from the crowd at TIFF. We're talking about more sunshine and warming up, Gary.
Sunshine's the story. It's been the theme this week. We'll extend it, in fact, a week before. And we saw with the long-range models that this ridge of high pressure would build. It would then be replaced by a even bigger, more intense, stronger ridge. And look, lo and behold, we are still fair and sunny and warm and above seasonal today. Case in point, in terms of the daytime high at least, it was cooler this morning, down to 9.5 degrees Celsius. Our average low is 13, but the average high is closer to 23, and we got close to 26. It felt like about 27, 28. That's the humidity factor. Ridge of high pressure is keeping the clouds, well, vacant, or at least the airspace vacant of clouds across the Great Lakes. And there's very little, if any, precipitation being recorded because there aren't clouds that are bearing precipitation. We're not likely to see that change, at least for the next 24 hours. There is a weak cold front coming in Saturday. I think there will be spotty showers, but cloudiness in parts, and then we'll actually even see quite a bit of a clearing and sunshine all together within that 24-hour period that constitutes the day of Saturday. For now, tonight, mostly clear conditions are the story, and the temperature will drop down to about 12 or 13 degrees Celsius across extreme southwestern Ontario, which you see before your very eyes, and a light breeze. It should be a pleasant enough night and early morning. And speaking of the morning, we're already up to about 15 degrees. At 6 p.m., we were talking about temperature at 8 a.m. being closer to 10 or 11. Now, it looks like there will be a bit more of a surge, and the warmth will be greeted by it earlier in the day. Northeasterly winds are the story, and they're light. Less than 10K, in fact, for the most part. We'll go up to a high of 26. The UV index at least 7, might be 8. So that's considered high. So protect yourself. By the way, there could be some foggy patches that will dissipate. And then we're into some sunshine for the most part. We are fair for Saturday. A slight chance of a passing shower, up to 27. Then look at this, 28s across the board from Sunday through to Thursday of next week. That's a 5-day stretch. We are 3 to 5 degrees above seasonal over the next week. Enjoy it. Don't forget your sunblock. Let's look at your weather.
America and the world is still grappling with the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, shot dead yesterday on a Utah campus. As the manhunt for his killer intensifies tonight, Kirk's casket was flown home to Arizona on Air Force 2, escorted by U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Kirk's wife.
This picture, a man in black sunglasses, black cap and shirt with an American flag, is someone the FBI is calling a person of interest in the targeted killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
Is going to be wearing all black, black long gun, black tactical helmet.
Authorities are piecing together clues from security camera videos, images appearing to show a person on the roof. Police tracking the gunman, they say, blended into the crowd to escape.
We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location.
The FBI also found what they believe is the murder weapon, a high-powered rifle with writing on unspent bullets.
Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis.
Kirk galvanized young voters in his conservative movement, tackling controversial subjects like transgender issues, and was a fierce supporter of President Donald Trump. Returning from September 11th memorial services, the president lashed out at the killer.
He's an animal, total animal, and hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him. What he did is disgraceful. Charlie Kirk was a great person, a great man.
And quick to point blame for political violence dividing America.
We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved. I'm only concerned for the country.
The president said he would award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom as memorials as far away as Spain and vigils mourn the father and husband.
I'm here because free speech shouldn't be violated, because we shouldn't murder each other as Americans. We should listen to each other.
Tonight, the FBI is asking the public for help in finding the killer, offering a $100,000 reward. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
That shooting has terrorized a Canadian man who has become the victim of an online lie. The retired Toronto banker was falsely accused of being a suspect in the political assassination. He spoke to CTV's Adrian Gabriel and says there were threats that weren't just targeted at him.
Michael Mallison went from watering his plants to receiving a flood of threatening messages on social media.
Calling me all sorts of names.
And your daughter was receiving messages as well,
saying if Michael Mallison is your brother or father, then this, and this is going to happen.
Following the shocking shooting in Utah, this fake Fox News account on X posted the Charlie Kirk shooter confirmed to be Michael Mallison with a photo of the Torontonian.
Michael, you see your name and your photo linked to an assassination in the United States. Your initial reaction?
Shock and horror. I've heard horrible things about people having their identity stolen.
Quickly, photos of Mallison taken from his social media pages started to circle the internet. Even Grok, the AI chatbot on Elon Musk's X, alleged that Mallison was likely the suspect arrested in the shooting.
Michael, where were you yesterday at about 2:20 Eastern Time?
Actually driving around. We had a busy day. My wife and I went to Yorkdale and then to another store looking for luggage.
Mallison has had legitimate concerns for his safety. The allegations from a fake account, another reminder of a growing lack of verified content on social media sites and the real-life consequences.
They are allowing things to slip through on their platform, and they don't put in enough safeguards to prevent things like this from happening.
I'm just a quiet, normal guy, ordinary guy. I have no need for any publicity, thank you very much.
Mallison has contacted local authorities out of concern, and he's sharing his story in hopes of spreading factual reports that he has no association with the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Adrian Gabriel, CTV News.
Strength in industrial stocks helped Canada's main stock index reach new ground following a string of record highs. In Toronto, the TSX gained 229 points. In New York, the Dow added 617, the Nasdaq up 157. The Canadian dollar gained 0.05 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold lost $8 an ounce and oil dropped $1.30 a barrel.
X marks the spot where it all began. 89X is back. Windsor's alternative. 89X.
Disruption today at St. Clair College, where 193 full-time support staff walked off the job, impacting operations on campus.
Unfortunately, the students are the pawns in all of this. The government is playing them against us and the system to really make a weaker Ontario.
10,000 full-time support staff across the province walked off the job this morning, including close to 200 from St. Clair, who are at the Cabana Road entrance at 7 a.m. Talks broke down last night between the College Employer Council and the Ontario Public Service Employees Union. Union leaders tell CTV News the walkout is more about job security than wages and benefits. The workforce has been substantially cut in the last year, and officials feel the Ford government is mismanaging funding to public colleges. Good news for parents of students who ride a school bus operated by First Student. A tentative agreement has been reached. The company had said it was going to lock out 180 bus drivers on Monday if an agreement could not be reached before then. Unifor Local 195 represents those bus drivers who transport around 7,000 local students daily, mostly in Windsor and LaSalle. Wages have been a key issue in contract talks. Union President Emile Nabout says a deal was reached Thursday afternoon with the help of a mediator, and the union is recommending acceptance. A ratification vote will be held on Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Union Hall on Somme Avenue. Windsor-based nonprofit Build a Dream has opened a skilled trades incubator.
This is for anyone that is looking to explore a new career, that's going into a second career, or is just not sure what pathway is available.
It's located inside Zion's Robotics on Ambassador Drive. The Trade Skills Development Incubator is a collaboration between Build a Dream, Zion, and St. Clair College, with financial support from all levels of government. People who want to check it out can sign up at the Build a Dream website to enter the incubator. And it was another day of giving back in Windsor. Local business Macro Foods, with help from local emergency responders, spent the morning preparing and delivering hot meals to charities across the community.
There's always going to be an identified need to assist people that are going through some significant hardships. And again, Macro Foods is being incredibly supportive of our initiatives and our mission.
It's the second year in a row the agencies have partnered together. This time, organizers say they're aiming even higher, hoping to donate 750 healthy meals to people in need. The meals are being shared with organizations including the Downtown Mission, Salvation Army, and Hiatus House. All say the donation comes at a critical time as demand for food support continues to grow across the region.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
The skies will be alive at Holiday Beach Conservation Area this weekend as the Festival of Hawks returns September 13th and 14th. Holiday Beach has been recognized as one of North America's top raptor migration spots. Expect stunning views as thousands of hawks and raptors fly over the park in their migration south. The park is offering guided hikes, bird banding, and family fun like the Woodland Critter Parade and Birds of a Feather treasure hunt. Carrie, this sounds like such an interesting event that the entire family would enjoy.
I think you're right, and I love birds of prey, the bald eagle in particular, because, well, it's a fascinating bird, a raptor, and I have a little bit in common with it, of course. Fascinating. So too is this forecast. It looks like it could be from a forecast that I would have done in mid-July, with these temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. Our average daytime highs are getting lower with each day by about 1/10 or 2/10 of a degree Celsius, but the weather, Mother Nature's not cooperating. We are being fed warm air. The ridge of high pressure is keeping precipitating cloud at bay. They're just not forming in this strong ridge, and that's why it's sunny Friday through the weekend and beyond. In fact, the average temperature could be close to 27, almost 28 degrees over the next 7 days. Enjoy it. Wow, that's beautiful golf weather wherever you are. Enjoy. Sunblock too. Remember that. Have yourselves a good night.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson surprised staff at a Toronto gym this week before the premiere of his new film at TIFF. But it was a Toronto family that shocked the Hollywood superstar on the red carpet with a special family connection. CTV's Andrea Case has their story.
When Dwayne Johnson arrived for his TIFF in Conversation event at the Royal Alexandra Theatre this week, he had no idea what was cooking or who was waiting for him on the other side of the barrier.
Andrea, I had a dream, as Martin Luther King would say.
In the crowd, Pamela Houston from the Ontario Black History Society. She was on a mission.
I said to the young people, when Dwayne gets out of the car, call him Dewey, because that's his family name. Nobody knows that. So he stopped and turned around because Dewey. Then they said, "Your dad, your dad." Dwayne looked at the banner and he held his heart. Then he walked through the gates that are blocking people so he can have a better look at his dad.
In 2015, the OBH created a Black Athletes in Sports exhibit, and in their archives, an audio recording of champion wrestler Rocky Johnson.
And I'm very proud that I was the first Black Canadian heavyweight wrestling champion ever was.
Wow.
And I'm very, very proud of that. If I can do it, other people can do it too.
Rocky died in 2020. He was born in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And oh yes, he just happens to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's dad. Also in the crowd, David Rosen.
And by the way, I'm your cousin David. How you doing? Good to see you.
He got out of the car. I shouted that I was his cousin. Within a couple of minutes, he came over, shook hands. He was very gracious, and I really, truly feel we made a connection, and that this is not the last time that we're going to see each other.
I'm still in awe. That's all I can say.
Andrea Case, CTV News.
A very special moment. Okay, thank you for joining us. That's your news for tonight.